What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the WildWestGamer with me, the WildWestGamer, here in the Gaming Grotto. And today I bring you a video game review, part 2 of my games that are worth your money. And it is, of course, none other than Skyrim. Oh yes, the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. This game is such a badass. Why? Because like all the best games, it takes what's been done before and it does it better whilst adding a fuckload of new features. Also, it's got fucking dragons, alright? Fucking dragons, boy! Seriously, who the hell does not like dragons? It's you. How do I talk about one of the biggest games, ever? It was, you just can't. It's just impossible to. There are so many features in this, so many good bits to it, so many things that you're not even going to know there exist in this game, which you're going to stumble upon months after buying it. It's that big. Apart from also the fact that there are numerous races to pick to play as, numerous paths to choose, numerous destinies, numerous choices, numerous alliances, there is no one single correct way to play this game. You simply play it the way you want to play it. It literally gives you freedom. It really does. It gives you the freedom to create the path you want to. And as a game where you play this destined warrior to save the world of Tamriel from the dragons which have returned, you should be able to create your own destiny as you see fit, and this game gives you that. It's so just it removes all of the shackles that you've held you as a gamer since forever, since the last Elder Scrolls game, and it gives you this massive world to play around in, absolutely huge. And I said it with my Far Cry video, I'm saying it with this one. Nothing makes a game better than being in a world you feel is real. You feel it actually exists, and this game really does. It really does feel like it exists. Apart from all of the fantastical, magical creatures and stuff like that, there's also normal animals and stuff like that doing their natural stuff, acting and behaving the way they would. When you go into cities, villages, towns, people there are doing their normal business, men working at a lumber mill, sawing wood, miners in mines, people, planting their gardens, their crops, tavern masters, and innkeepers and stuff like that. Just everything. Soldiers, talking about stuff that's, news on the wind, stuff like that. It's fantastic. And then as you go out of these, towns, like I say, back into the wilderness, you slowly leave civilization and just disappear into this world. It is fantastic. It's such a good game. Of course, there is a quest to it. There is a point to the game, and that is, like I said, you are as the Dragonborn, you are tasked with defending the world from dragons, because their return signals the end of days, the end of the world, and that's a pretty meaty challenge to take up. But fortunately, being the Dragonborn, you have some sweet ass abilities, and that is the dragon shouts, which are the most fun I have had in a game for a long time. Essentially, what they are is every time you kill a dragon, you take its soul. You absorb its soul, and this in turn allows you to power up certain shouts. The way that works is you find the shouts inscribed on the walls, in down in dungeons, or in the highest peaks of mountains. They're all scattered throughout the world. It's your job to find them, or you can be taught them by some monks, or you can be taught them by dragons themselves. But for the most part, you'll be finding them written on walls. When you find those words, they are the phrases. The shouts are split into 3 parts, and each soul you get from a dragon allows you to open up another word of that shout. So my favourite, Fuzruda, which is a force attack, like a force shout which throws enemies back. The first one is Fuz, the second one is Ra, the second one is Da. So Fuzruda. As you power that up, it gains in power, and this works for all of them. And each one of the shouts does something different. There's some that let you, like I say, force attack, some that let you shoot fire, some that make you invisible, some which just everything, some that can let you call dragons to aid you, some which change the weather. There's loads of really cool shouts. I don't want to tell you too many because actually it'll ruin it. The fun of it is actually finding them and finding what they do. But they are all equally awesome. They are really good, and they actually all really are useful in combat. Likewise, you've still got your magic, you've still got your sword play, and all of that sort of stuff. Um, God, I don't know what to talk about next. It's so big. So yeah, you have those as the Dragonborn. You have those abilities, and that allows you to, of course, get a one-up on your enemies you're fighting. Not that your enemies are slouches. Oh no, they have definitely learned since the day of Oblivion, in which was a sort of a case of they just see you and wildly charge and attack. In this one, they're a lot more smarter. Fights with enemies that are brandishing swords or melee weapons will be more about, you won't just be just whacking away at them until that health bar depletes. They'll dodge, they'll block, they'll counter. They are very clever. They will really make you fight if they're hiding something good. Likewise, ranged enemies will be hiding at the back. They know where it's safest. They'll be firing arrows off back there and shooting magic blasts. Of course, this makes combat a lot more fun because nothing is more satisfying than after doing a lovely. There's nice finishers now for melee enemies. Any enemy. Sorry. So once you've finished a nice melee, counter finisher move like spinning an enemy and stabbing him through the chest, you'll then be charging, at point blank at a ranged enemy. Could be a wizard firing off magic blast, could be a archer, but nothing's more satisfying than catching an arrow or a magic blast on your shield, and especially if it's a magic attack, it just sort of flares around the outside of it, and that is really cool. And then when you get in there and you heave away, cutting them to pieces. It's fantastic. It's so good. Likewise, of course, you may choose to be a bowman or a mage yourself, a spellcaster. And if you do, that's just as fun. Arrows have been retweaked since Oblivion. They're now slower to knock and fire, but they're a lot more powerful, which is a lot more rewarding. Likewise, there's a very nice arrow flying sound effect, and a nice whistle as you release it. Likewise, magic has been again redone. You can now have 2 magical spells in either hand, so a heal or fire, or perhaps both fire or both heal. If you really want to, and that'll double the effect. Likewise, if you use two spells simultaneously that are different, sometimes they complement the effect. I think if you use ice and then fire, that actually doubles the damage. Sort of that whole you heat something and then you cool it rapidly and it will crack or something like that. So I think I think I'm not making that up, or am I thinking of BioShock? Either way, so yeah, that's been that's been increased, and that's really good. And likewise, that dual wielding works in melee as well. So while you can have a shield and a sword, you can also have 2 axes or 2 swords or an axe and a sword. And again, this is good fun because while you can't block, you double your damage. You go in swinging away. A really nice feature they've done away with since Oblivion. They've let your armor no longer degrades, or your weaponry. Once you've got them, they're yours. That is nice. I'm hoping when they finally get their asses in gear and do Fallout 4 that they'll continue that same pattern, because nothing pisses me off more than finding sweet ass armor, checking its stats and finding it's almost broken and going, great, so I still can't fucking use it. It's now just taking up 10 points worth of my encumbrance. So that pisses me off. They've changed that. You can have your own house now. You can buy houses in the various cities. You can customize those inside. That's quite nice. If you buy the DLC Heathfire, I think it's called, you can build your own house, completely customize it, which is again very, very cool. I think my friend was telling me, I think you can have it almost becomes like a little mini fort, and you can have guys in there as well, looking after it for you. So that's really cool. Likewise, if you just get the game, just the standard game, you can buy houses and customize them, and that's still just as much fun, because then you have a place to go home to. You've got trophies on the walls. You've got your weapons in your weapons rack. And you can store loads of stuff there. And then because you can store it as much as you want there, what's great is you can really, for the hoarders out there, it's a godsend. You can really go out there, get as much as you want, come back to your house, unload it, go back out. That's really nice touch, and it's certainly very useful. I know you could do that. You had that in Fallout 3 you could buy properties or something like that. I'm not sure if you could in Oblivion, but regardless, it's still nice to have that option in Oblivion. For Skyrim. The really, 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 really cool thing is the way, of course, now that you gain experience and you spend it and you upgrade your character. No longer is this game is really about sort of seamless interaction. No longer is it just boring, stat screens and stuff like that. Now, when you want to upgrade yourself, we're up in the heavens. We're looking at the stars, and the stars represent different parts of your different parts of your character, like light armor use, heavy armor use, swords, arrows, magic, forging, potion making, rogue abilities, all that sort of shit. And what's cool is you can spend the experience you gain by doing certain things on that, and that upgrades it. I think I've got that right. Likewise, it's been ages since I played Skyrim. I do apologise, but I mean, I'm still pretty fresh on it. Likewise, when you're in the game, no longer do you have to, no longer do you just gain general experience. Experience is actually gained by doing certain things. So, if you like playing as a swordsman, you're going to gain experience in lots of swordplay, which is fantastic, because then it means all those hours you've put in, whacking away with swords, actually benefits you, as far as that is concerned. Likewise, if you like forging, go fucking crazy, forge as much as you can. Then you can, upgrade your forging abilities in the star map. You can go up there and you can, start forging. If you say forged enough items, you've got enough experience. Upgrade, so you can now forge dwarf armor as well as all the previous armor you could forge, and then carry on like that. And it's fantastic that the game works like that, because now what you find is people no longer feel like they are regimented into playing a certain way. They can play any way they want to. They really can. If a bit of sneaking, you'll get experience for sneaking. Firing off arrows, you'll get experience. You jump around, you're running around a lot, you'll get experience in that. Everything will give you experience almost. And that's really great, because when you spend it, you go, yeah, I've really earned this because I genuinely did what I needed to get that. And it feels a lot more believable. It pisses me off with RPGs where you gain experience. Well, what, just experience in general? I experience something happen, so I now means I'm awesome at wielding katanas? No. Likewise, the game just looks fantastic. That really helps. I mean, it's from like babbling brooks, raging waterfalls, snowy mountains, gales, storms, pine forest, wind rustling through those, geysers, hot springs, ice flows. Everything looks fantastic and it sounds amazing. And the game has this fantastic epic quality. That's the really only way I would describe Skyrim. Epic, completely epic. Nothing beats, climbing up the side of a mountain which has taken you absolutely ages to climb up, and you're going, you're just exploring the land, exploring the wild. Nothing beats that when you then hear that distinctive call of a dragon in the distance, and you look away, and through a valley you see, against the sunset, a massive dragon, sort of calling out as it's, just flying up upon snowy mountaintops. It's like something out of Lord of the Rings. It really is. And that is so amazing, because you go, God, this world is alive. This God is real. This God is real. This world is real. And you just go, how have they done this? I mean, you think the game actually is never going to end. It really feels like it's never going to end. It just feels like it's going to keep going and going and going, because every time you do anything, there seems to be someone waiting to tell you something, or perhaps little tidbits of information which get you all sort of like, hey, what's going on here? It makes you want to explore. Then there are just things you stumble upon. Perhaps there's you find like a load of dead bodies in a cave, and there turns out to be a massive grizzly bear in there. Perhaps there's a saber-toothed tiger somewhere. Perhaps you inadvertently stumble upon bandits mugging someone. You save their life. All this sort of stuff is fantastic. Not to mention that the land of Skyrim has been gripped by a massive war between the Jarls and the King of Skyrim. The new King of Skyrim, and it's basically this. It's set a couple hundred years after Oblivion, and in that time the High Elves the Dark Elves have risen up and taken power, essentially, and they now control Cyrodiil, which in turn the Empire is now putting pressure on Skyrim to fall into line, and this is fueling a lot of sort of heated engagements, which you then inadvertently turn into full-scale war, based upon your actions. That is fantastic, because I mean that sets up some of the massive set pieces in this game. It really, some of the best bits. But like I say, this game has got so much more. I mean, what was great was I was talking to one of my friends. I was talking to Mr. Sean. I was saying to him, I'm doing this and this happened and this happened. He's like, really? Did that happen? Did it? I was like, yeah. What happened? Did that not happen with you? And he's like, no, I'm not. That's not even. I'm still neutral. I was like, so you haven't chosen allegiance? He was like, no. I was like, sweet. You just like, what? I didn't. You think the games have to work a certain way, otherwise they'll be broken. But this game literally lets you do anything, and you can, you can't break it. You can't make the game into a situation where it's going to mean that you can't go any further. You always can keep going, and that's great, because you mean then that it shows how much care and attention has been taken by the developers, by the game makers, into making this game where you are meant to push the game to its limits. You are meant to try and do whatever you want, because they've thought of everything you can do, and there's always a situation or an encounter which is a payoff for certain actions. This game, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have any multiplayer element, or at least it's hidden it from me. I'm sure I heard someone say something about co-op, but I'm not sure if that. I think that's BS. Actually, if I'm honest, I've never been invited to a game of co-op or anything like that. Let me have a look. Yeah, no, I thought so. Yeah, that's bullshit. Someone said to me that, oh yeah, there's co-op in this game. I was like, really? Right, okay. Also, what's cool is they give you a physical map. I love it when I get free shit with games. It's awesome, and the map is really cool. I don't take it out because I'm scared of ruining it. But yeah, that is it, really. Skyrim, a fucking huge game, massive game. Set in this fantastic world, loads of great characters, loads of moments to scare you, to make you laugh, to make you go, make you feel awesome, moments to make you cry, moments to make you, sad, moments to make you feel like a hero or the villain. Really does. Skyrim is what you want to make it. That is simple as. Skyrim is your game. You choose how you play it. You choose who you are. Want to be an elf? Be an elf. Want to be a Nord? Be a Nord. Want to be an orc? Be an orc. You get to play as the character that you built. You play you. Make your character look like you. Be a woman. Be a man. Do what you want. Just have fun with this game. Seriously. There is nothing worse than taking a game like this and just leaving it to gather dust. Play this game. Play it and play it and play it. You will be hooked from the word go, trust me. You're going to look at the amount of time you've spent on this and go, I haven't even played nearly as much as that on any other game, because this game is still giving you stuff 100 hours plus, 200 hours plus, 300 hours plus. Really is, I promise you that. So guys, I am the WildWestGamer. This was Skyrim. Fantastic, simply put, and God, I cannot wait for the next Elder Scrolls, and God, I cannot wait for the next Fallout. Hoping that it's by Bethesda. These guys know what they're doing. Only bad thing I will say, and this is it. This has a reference to PlayStation 3 players. There was a lot of bad press about the PlayStation 3 copy being buggy as hell. And yes, it was. There were a lot of frame rate issues. I've seen it. I can definitely say I was witness to that. But in all fairness to Bethesda, before I put this in just now, I got an update. Likewise, there have been updates in the past for it. It seems to run a lot smoother. In fact, it does run a lot smoother. And I never had a problem personally. So yeah, that is it really. Hopefully Bethesda in the future, you're gonna, perhaps up your game, excuse the pun, when it comes to making sure that bugs are taken care of, yeah, because I mean, there's nothing worse than pissing off PlayStation gamers just because you guys, couldn't be bothered to scrap some of the bugs. So yeah, make sure in the future Bethesda that everything's running smoothly. It'd be a shame to ruin a fantastic game with something that actually isn't actually the game's fault. It's not actual bad game design, I should say. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Skyrim, one of the best games ever made. It really is. It sits up there with all my, with the top games I love. It's just fantastic. It really is. It is the Skyrim experience. You're gonna simply fall in love with it and just live it. Really are. And I can once you've got. I mean, there's loads of DLC out now. There's of course the Vampire DLC. There's the Heathfire DLC. There's the Dragon Rider DLC. There's loads of DLC come out for it, and it's all now worthwhile. It's not like Oblivion where you can buy fucking horse armor. Fucking horse armor. Who the fuck wants horse armor? I mean, I fucking kill my horse myself. A waste of money. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Skyrim, really, really, really good. If you don't get it, okay, you really must not like the best games of all time. So there you have it. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I've been the WildWestGamer. That's a yellow bag. So yeah, have fun, guys, and I will see you sometime, someplace, somewhere. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go have a sandwich. See y'all mothers later.